Hello and welcome to another video from the Windows 95 guy. Today I'll be showing you the things that I've been working on that have nothing to do with computers. So let's get into it. This is my bicycle. This is a Huffy. I don't know exactly what year, but I'm guessing sometime in the mid to late 80s. And I got this from my friend's scrap pile a little over a year ago. The chain, show the chain, was completely seized. You could not ride it. This chain here was stuck. Not anymore, because I freaking put a lot of WD-40 on it, and it eventually freed itself up. Along with the gear shifter, which also was froze, so I had no gears. It was stuck in, probably that thing there, so it always wants to go to that same gear. This is a gear shifter here, and you don't see very many bicycles with a shifter like this. You're usually on the thing here. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I have a basket here. I took this off of my old bicycle. That was called the Biketron 3000, which I still have the tags from in my workbench here. I built the bike out of a Kawasaki a couple years ago. What do I do with those labels? Well, it doesn't matter. Oh, here they are. Biketron 3000. So these were on the front basket, which is, well, it was sitting there. It was a green basket. It was sitting on front of it. It was a mountain bike. And it had this on the back. This was mounted on there, so I had a big General Electric radio from sometime in the early 80s. It was sat in there, ran on a bunch of C batteries. I think it was loud. And it had the same horn. I transferred over. It didn't have this headlight. This didn't exist yet. I was still using this headlight here, which went off of a transformer on the wheel. You don't see too many bicycles with these style of light fixtures anymore, where it has a little motor in here. And as the wheel spins, this spins, creates electricity, and it would light up this. And it would have one wire running to it, and the rest of it would be grounded off of the frame, which is the same deal for the headlight. I have a speedometer here. This speedometer, I think it came off of an exercise bike. And you can see how many miles, whoever is exercising, they put a lot of miles on it. But the cable broke at the thing there. Yeah, it just kind of shattered inside of it, and it does not work anymore. So I bought one of these deals, an electronic one. However, only kilometers per hour. So I have to do an active conversion from kilometers an hour to miles an hour using this. So my average is about 15 or 20 kilometers an hour. So I have to go in here. So I'm pretty much going like 13 miles an hour, I guess. I have to do an active conversion as I'm driving so I know how fast I'm going. It's quite class. Now this headlight here, I guess that fell off my kickstand. That is an oil wrench from a Toyota Corolla 2012. Yeah, this headlight here runs off of a battery, which is handy, but it's not nearly as bright as my old one. The old one only ran off of the transformer, and the transformer for some reason isn't powerful enough to run both that and the headlight, so I had to only have headlight and no backlight. And I didn't have the right voltage of bulbs. They're probably too high voltage, that's most likely why they couldn't run them both. And this has a horn, sometimes. There we go. Yeah, it's fussy. This entire bike is fussy. This actually is two seats here. This is a memory foam seat from Aldi that I bought a couple years ago, and I stuck it over top of another memory foam seat. But it was the material on it was starting to flake off, so I stuck this on top. So now I have 2 layers of memory foam, which is very, very comfortable compared to any other bicycle seat over there. They're not great. And this is connected to, this used to be the back reflector. It's not a very good setup. It kind of wobbles a little bit. When I would transfer, well, I transferred all of those over there on this basket. That was the sketchiest thing because when I was driving, it wanted to flex around. It was not very great, but it works. And I only really keep this in here and sometimes some rags, because when I drive and I'm shifting up, or well, shifting down, whatever it is, shifting to a different gear so I go faster, eventually I have to slow down for a stop sign. So I'll downshift. Sometimes I'll shift down too fast accidentally, because there's no clicks here. You can't really tell what is a gear. You just kind of have to figure it out yourself. You listen to the transmission. I would downshift so fast sometimes that this here couldn't keep up and keep the tension on the chain, so it would pop off, slide around in this little housing here. It's probably why it's cracked now, because it falls off. Which my old bike did that too, but that was only if I went out of range, because for some reason the gear shifter that was on the handlebar had more gears on it than on the gears itself. So I would have like 8 gears on there and 6 down here. So I would, first gear is actually I think third gear. Not great. Me and my Clapp things. Now I'm sure you're wondering, why is this motor here? Well, I'm going to answer that. This is a weed whacker motor made by John Deere, and it has a clutch inside of it. So what I'm doing with it is eventually, once I figure out how, I'm still working on it, I want to mount this motor. Tilt that because it's got a small leak here. It's leaking on the ground. I'm going to mount this on the frame. I'm going to run a sprocket from this. I'm going to take out these pedals. I'll cut them off. I'll probably weld them up here so I have something to put my feet on. And then I have this connected to the bike. And, throttle cable will be up there once I get a longer cable. I'm going to make this into a motorcycle. So this is the motor I chose. This brake here leads to the front brake. The front brake works very, very good. I'm happy with that. This is the back brake, which is a different brake, and it's not as good. Most of the time I find myself using the front brake, which is, if anyone knows anything about bicycling or motorcycling, front braking is very dangerous because you can flip forward if you don't be careful about it. A lot of times I use both, but sometimes I find myself using that one. Also, it makes a terrible, terrible sound whenever you use the back brake. I don't know what it is that does this, but it sounds like the spokes are just like, that's what you hear, except very fast and very loud. It's terrible. I hate it. The motor mounting, I'm not really sure yet how I'm going to figure that out. I'm thinking I can use this, put some sort of clamp around this here, and that'll give me a top clamp here. And there are some screws here, and some screws down there on the, I don't know if you can see that or not, probably not, but there's a screw here. There's some screws in there. I could probably put some sort of a clamp on there. I also got to get a new piece of plastic here so it fell off. And it just, aesthetically, it kind of annoys me because it's not there. And over here we're missing the plastic. The plastic's still here on this side, but that fell off and I had to glue it back on. So that kind of annoys me too. This is also an American-made bicycle. Can't say that much about anything anymore. Nothing's made in America. Ooh, flip-flop came off. Yes, I'm cringe. I'm wearing flip-flops and socks. I just didn't feel like putting on shoes because I'm in my garage and it's slightly dirty, but it's not outside. And for clutch, or not clutch, throttle. I need a throttle. This is just a grip. Very, very grippy grip. I gotta figure out how to get this off. This is probably not gonna come off without a slicing down the center and peeling off. It's been on there for 30 plus years. So that's gotta be connected. I had a longer cable here for the throttle that I snagged from my dad's garage, but it doesn't fit. It's a little too thick on that end. You can't tell because it's not focusing. Oh well. But it didn't fit. So I have to figure out something for it. Hopefully my throttle kit when I buy it will work. I think that is about it for this bicycle. so I will take you outside and start the motor so you can hear it. Yay! Alright, here's the motor. We are outside now. As you can see, it's, well, dark. It's currently like, I don't even know, 9 o'clock. What does it say? I can't even really tell. 10:18. There's your time. So I'm going to start this motor. It's a little cold, and that's probably why it's having a little of an issue starting up, but that's okay. It happens. Also help if I was giving it some gas. Prime it a little bit. It usually runs, it'll start up on the second pull. It's just cold. There we go, the John Deere is started. As you can see, it runs very, very smoothly. It's just, it hasn't been started in about a week or two. I got a lot of projects going here. But, for now, this is a freaking long snippet of crap that really, it's just projects that aren't done. That's why I have the extension on there. I just bumped the tire, it all fell over. Wow, that's not cool. That radio probably doesn't work anymore. I'm going to end it here before I break anything else. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and come back. You'll see this hopefully not clapped, hopefully with a motor in it, and hopefully not on the ground. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.